Miss Pam Tillis, thank you for sitting down with us, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
CMA Fest is back in full swing. How does it feel?
It feels good. It's going strong. It's amazing how long this thing has been going on. I think since the 80s.
I think so.
Amazing.
Back when it was old fanfare.
And it's huge now. I actually attended the show at Nissan Stadium last night, and I was just looking and just kind of in awe. I think from the early days when it was over at the fairgrounds, it was a very much a mom and pop kind of a flea market vibe.
A little hidden secret.
And now country music is just humongous. Right. And there must have been 60,000.
I think it holds about 70 when it's filled out right.
And it was practically full.
I'm
so
sure.
I was just amazed.
Well, 90,000 country music fans hit Broadway for all this. As a performer,
Wow.
what does it mean to have so many people show up for live music?
That's the people. That's why we do it. And of course, speaking for myself, and I think I can safely say on behalf of all of us '90s artists, I just say as long as they keep showing up, we'll keep showing up.
Yeah.
So it's a wonderful thing.
And you've had an amazing career that's still going strong. What have you learned over the years?
Oh, gosh. Well, certainly know everything I've done wrong. It's always important to stay in touch with the why, because you can get swept up in the moment and all the flash and all the fanciness of it, whatever,
All the glitz and glamour.
Yeah, the glitz. Thank you.
Yes.
But it's just important to always remember why you are there and what you're trying to do through your music. And like a lady came up to me today, and that's not the first time I've heard it, fortunately, but she just says, you need to know that what you do matters to us. And so that's it.
Maybe It Was Memphis is probably, arguably, in my opinion, one of the top 20 country songs of all time.
That's pretty great. Thank you.
Did you know you had something special when you were putting that song together?
I'll give you a shortened version of the story.
Okay.
That song and I had an interesting history in the beginning. I found the song. I loved it. I recorded it for another label, and it was a totally different version. And I think I was competing for the record company muscle behind the song. I was competing with another bigger artist.
Oh, really?
And I was a new artist, so they kind of let my single fall to the wayside. And to tell you the truth, it wasn't a great version.
Oh.
But I believed in the song so much so that when I got to record for Arista Records, and my producer, Paul Worley, and I were going through material, I said, it's not very common to re-record a song. Usually, if it doesn't happen the first time, you move on to the next piece of material. But in this instance, I believed in the song so much, and all that I knew was every time I played it, like I was just starting out, but I'd play like a place like the Bluebird, and people would go nuts. And I said, Paul, I think we need to take another crack at this. And that turned out to be a pretty great thing. So, cut to the recording studio, second take. You know what I mean?
Yes,
second time around. And we had recorded the song, and they wheeled me in front of the console, the mixing console, and they pushed play when it was all mixed. And I remember listening to it, and I'm listening to it, and I just can't believe when it all came together and it was all mixed. I couldn't believe what I was hearing, and I remember turning around with tears in my eyes and saying to my producer, that's a dream come true. That's just, I couldn't believe what I was hearing, and I knew, you never know what it's going to do in the marketplace, but I knew that was my best work that I had done up until that moment, and if I never got to make another record, I would feel proud of that one.
Now, country music has always been amazing with having these female pillars in the genre with Tammy Wynette, you, Shania, Dolly, Reba.
Thank you. Yeah.
Have you been keeping that ear out for the younger girls coming in?
Oh, well, she's not new, but I think Miranda is a genius. I mean, she's a genius songwriter. She's a fantastic singer. And performer and just a conceptual. I'm so proud of her stepping into an executive role with her own record company.
That's right.
She's just a bad. She just is. But I'm keeping my eye out. You know, I mean, I love Ashley McBryde. I think Ashley's fantastic. She's not exactly new, but I think she's influencing. You know, there's a new crop of women that are kind of hitting the mid-stride of their career that are influencing the younger ones. And so I think about Lainey and Ashley. And then, you know, I think Carly Pearce is great. There's a lot of great talent. Ella Langley's great. And, Carter Faith there's just so many. I can't believe the talent, really. It's a little bit harder for the women right now. And I think that's cyclical and it'll change, but it's not because it's not for any lack of beauty, brains, and talent. So here's to today's ladies.
Any pieces of advice you'd give them?
Just fight the good fight and don't, you know, just realize that it's not always what you're doing or not doing right. The business, and it is a roll of the dice. So don't take anything personal and just keep showing up and making your best work, and don't worry about every little pound.
My last question is always my hardest. What do you hope your fans take away from your music?
Oh man, you know, you just want people to hear heart and find their truth in the music. You know, find their truth in the song, and know that I put a lot of love into what I do, and I hope that it's I hope that they find something that's healing or means something to them. You know, that's it.
Just a genuine connection.
Yeah, just thank you. Wow, you should be an interviewer. You should be a journalist.
Well, I have Suzanne Alexander as my mentor, so I'm trying
you
my
did
best.
good. I love Suzanne.
Thank you, Miss Pam, for sitting down with us.
Thank you. Great to see you.